Becoming an elite athlete. We're at a point that if a parent wants to see their child succeed in any athletic endeavor, their best bet is to have that child specialize in that sport. Now, I know there are freak athletes that can do well in multiple sports, but for the majority and in big cities, specializing is going to be their best. But I also believe that an athlete requires two things. One, a strength and conditioning coach, hands down. Somebody that can help the athlete move more efficiently, effectively, help them use their most important asset, their body, to its fullest potential. And then two would be a mentor or someone that focuses on skills related things. So for basketball, passing, dribbling, defense, shooting, you name it, just to break down the game and really hone in all those skills. Without these two, I think athletes are going to find it very hard to really compete at the same level as others and really excel if it is their goal from high school to college and professionally playing. But as I think about these things, I break it down into, you've got your physical components, you've got your skills, you've got your mental, and then really your dreams and what you're after. But as I think about the physical components, and this has been done after a ton of different reading, studying, and putting together my thoughts, I believe an elite athlete contains a majority, if not all 10 of these physical components. And before I get too much further into this, I put together and wrote an ebook, and it's called Becoming an Elite Athlete. Becoming for the purpose of you just never arrive. It's something that you're always working on. It's a process. And the becoming, that applies to so many other things than just basketball, sports, whatever it is. It applies to life in general. But anyway, so the 10 physical components that I believe most elite athletes contain, and they may not contain all of these, and they may not be applicable to their given sport, but think of, a top athlete that you admire or watch or just in awe. And I've broken them down into 3 layers. Layer 1, it's the foundational layer. It's what we build upon. It's what we come back to regularly when it's for injuries, recovery, active recovery, whatever you want to call it. And that layer 1 is built on mobility and then stability and balance. And the mobility piece is really just getting your body to be able to move your body through full range of motion. There aren't any... you're able to move your body as it should, essentially. As you get older, a lot of people lose that mobility, and so they don't move as they once could or did previously. And then the other one is stability and balance. Stability and balance, being able to maintain balance on one leg, or I think of a basketball player, going up for a layup and leaning in, right? And being able to control, body control. There's so many components or aspects to it. So that's the foundational piece. And again, when athletes experience injury, they always come back to that foundational piece, or they should, as a way to build up stabilizing muscles, major muscles, and so on. Layer 2, strength and aerobic capacity. And again, aerobic capacity may not be as applicable to like a basketball player as it is maybe like a long distance marathon runner. That's more of like the endurance stuff. Strength is obvious. As I think about basketball, being able to box out, being able to post up, being able to utilize your body and move. So, and then finally, layer 3, once we've, built up to it, we've got power, speed, agility, anaerobic capacity, and then finally mental resilience. So power, again, just being able to move something, as quickly as possible in the shortest amount of time. Speed, obviously, and then agility. I just think of agility and being able to stop and go and change directions very quickly and rapidly. Anaerobic capacity, that's usually being able to maintain as hard as you can for 30 to 60 seconds in a sprint, or just being able to have that ability to maintain as much as you can in a short period of time. And then mental resilience. Gosh, sports have a way of doing this at times. You can ride the highest of highs, and then you might have a bad game, and then you might have a couple bad games, and then you're questioning everything. But the mental resilience is the ability to really continue to understand your why and really be able to bounce back quickly. I think that's the key, bouncing back quickly. So that's what I would make up as the physical components. And again, what I believe an elite athlete contains. Again, layer 1, mobility, stability, and balance. Layer 2, strength and aerobic capacity. Layer 3, power, speed, agility, anaerobic capacity, and then mental resilience. And then as we pivot on to skills, so for each athlete, they really need to identify and be able to break down their game. So I'm speaking right now at 35 years of age. If I were to go back and do it again, this is how I would be doing it, especially from a skills perspective, from looking at the game of basketball. So all you young hoopers out there, take notes. If you're not doing this, highly recommend it. So I would break down the game of basketball first with shooting, understanding proper shooting form, being able to shoot off screens, coming around corners, creating my own shot, and so on. And then, of course, ball handling, understanding, being able to dribble with both hands equally, having confidence, as well as really working on my bag and having a crossovers, whatever. Passing, defense, footwork, understanding really how to pivot, change of direction, speed, working in the post, and then finally basketball IQ. So this is the one I think a lot of athletes skip on, and that's watching film and really just studying the game. Studying other athletes, watching some of these NBA players, like they're incredible how they're able to understand basketball. So I would break it down by skills like that and look and reflect inwardly and say, all right, where am I lacking? Where can I improve? What does my game need? And really, how can I hone that in? And then this I was totally oblivious to and had no idea, but nutrition. If I want to perform at peak level, what am I eating? What am I fueling my body to do so? And PB&Js, that's not the fuel I needed. I ate those so much throughout high school, and that's not what I needed. They're good, but that's not what I needed. Being able to better understand calories, macronutrients such as carbs, fats, and proteins, and just really understanding what fuel is my body going to need so that I can perform to the best of my ability on the basketball court. As I move on, I think about visualization and imagery. This one's huge in sports psychology. I had no idea really what it meant or what it was about, and but as I think about it, I always think about Drew Brees, and there's a YouTube video that had Drew Brees on, and he was the only one left there after practice. He's sitting there on the 10, 20-yard line, and he doesn't even have a football in his hand. But basically, he's visualizing the whole play, the setup, running through mental notes, and really going through the motion as if it was a real game. And so you see him take the snap, you see him pump fake, you see everything. And so he's visualizing in his mind, he's doing the play. So at the time when come game time, the guy's ready. He's suited, he's ready, he's already done the mental reps, he already knows somewhat of what to expect, and he's good to go. So visualization and imagery, this could be done in so many different ways. In the ebook, I talk about free throws, right? Let's say you're not very confident, you're a poor free throw shooter. First and foremost, I'd come up with a routine. What's your routine? Keep it short, and go through that regularly. And then when you're doing the visualization imagery, you could be sitting in a chair, you could be laying down on the floor, you've got your eyes closed, and you're going through each of those steps, one at a time, essentially just putting in the reps and feeling, thinking about the imagery, feeling the ball in your hands, dribbling it, whatever your routine is, and then coming up, shooting, and listening as it goes through the net. All of that, and just thinking of that and doing that over and over again. And you can do that in so many scenarios. The idea is you're the hero in any of those scenarios. And it could be for dribbling, it could be you working on your crossover, crossing someone over, get to the hoop, whatever it is. Build out a routine that works for you pre-game, and go through that over and over again. And again, that's a huge, huge confidence booster. And then there's a book I love. It's called Mindset, and it's by Carol Dweck. Carol Dweck goes through two different mindsets. One of them's a fixed, and one of them's a growth. The fixed mindset, which we don't want to be a part of, but there's aspects of our lives, as you think about it, that we do have a fixed mindset. So it's continually trying to at least one recognize, do I have a fixed mindset here, or do I have a growth mindset? So the fixed mindset is really your the cards that are dealt to you, or you're dealt the cards that you have, and that's just what it is, right? I am the way I am, and that's just the way it is. You're either born with it or you're not. And you're also worried about what others think. So it's very fixed. It's very set in your ways. You're almost not willing to change because you think that's how you've been born, or that's just how it is. And then transition to growth mindset. This is focusing on the process of becoming and developing, not just being. So hence the name, becoming an elite athlete. The idea is we're always working towards, we're always excelling towards becoming, improving, and it's focusing on the process. So it's, as we watch these athletes, these incredible athletes, win championships and everything else, or score points every night, 30 plus, whatever it is, we don't always recognize, well, how much work did that person put in pregame? How much work did that person put in the off season? Like, we're not seeing that. And so that's what the process is about, is what are you doing to become? How are you working to become and developing? And then the last point here is dream big, stay consistent. If you want to go to the NBA, do it. Understand, here's the NBA, and work your way backwards. What do I do now? The NBA is a big dream and a big goal, but the phrase that always comes to mind is, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So where you are now, what is it you need to do now? Focus on the day efforts. And then another phrase that has stuck in my mind here on my computer right now is, did I pay the price to win today? The price to win each day, it changes. And each day holds something new and different. But did I pay the price to win today? What did I do? What didn't I do? And just being really aware of where you're at and where you're going. But dream big, stay consistent, and then really, what's your why? You're going to come across roadblocks. There's no doubt about it. It happens every time. That might be injury. That might be self-doubt. That might be listening to others that you probably shouldn't be listening to. What is your why? Your why is that internal motivator of, why am I doing this? What is the reason behind it? And so when you do come across those, I recommend write down your why. And that might be 2 points. That might be 10 bullet points. I don't know. Write them down. And when you do come across those negative thoughts, feelings, discouragement, whatever it is, go through that and re-motivate yourself and reintroduce yourself. This is why I'm doing this. Because I want to play college basketball. Because I want to get more playing time. Because I eventually want to make it to the NBA. And I have a cool, let's see if I can find it, but there's a little trick of understanding what your why is. And it's really, the exercise is this. You insert your goal and the reason into the following. So I want to blank because blank. So essentially, I want to become an NBA player because it's always been a dream of mine, right? And then you keep going further and further into that. So I want to be a better athlete because it will help me perform at a higher level. I want to perform at a higher level because I want to win a championship. So you keep reinserting what you've done previously, and it drills down further and further, but it really gets you to think. Whether that works for you or not, that's up to you, but it's helped me because it's really helped me identify my thought process as well as help me look at my goals from a whole different perspective. So just to recap, first, the two most important points I believe any athlete needs is a strength and conditioning coach and a mentor / skills coach to really help improve on skills and sports IQ. And then in consideration, physical components, the 10 physical components, the 3 different layers. Finally, breaking down my game in a matter of skills, from shooting to ball handling, passing, so on. Nutrition, really figuring out how to fuel my body and what's going to help me perform at peak levels. And then mindset, with Carol Dweck, her book of a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, as well as dreaming big and staying consistent, and coming up with a why. Why am I doing this? Why is this important to me? And that may change over time, but if you want to read the ebook, go ahead and hit me up. You can direct message me on Instagram or wherever you find me. I'm happy to share this. It's no cost. These are just my thoughts, and these thoughts continue to evolve. So you may have some additional thoughts on what I've said here. Would love to get your feedback as I continue to explore this and build upon what I've already written. Thank you. Appreciate you tuning in. Love doing this myself. This is just me, my thoughts, and yeah, have a great day. Appreciate it.